and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Good morning, we're doing the Film My Run 500. It's a 500 metre climb at the bottom of Von Top. We'll get to 4.2 kilometres of distance, and I'm up for an easy one today. I'm up for a nice, quiet, easy one. We're going to 12% elevation. You'll find I'm talking to the gang a lot today, or well, maybe, depends how many new people. If we've got a lot of new people, then we will talk to them a lot. If we haven't got a lot of new people, then I may be a little more quiet. If you all know what you're doing, then we'll have a nice quiet run to the top. I promise not to bang on about being off your heels. Okay, let's go 5 kilometers an hour walking. Right, so the idea is basically that we just walk the first little bit out. We haven't got into the start yet. There's kind of a 200 metre walk to the start. Nice to see Amy Green, Clara Davis, Steve Smith, Paul Deering, Sebastian Vogt, Jeff Partridge. Welcome along to everybody, Aaron Francie. Nice to see you all today. Trust the process. Low heart rate. Full stop. No racing. Full stop. Jeff Partridge got some good news this morning. Are you expecting twins? Ryan Perring off to a flying start. Absolutely. As always. Well, that's a kind of delivery. Hello Monica, hello Steve Milne, hello Adam Holland, and Steve Smith as well, good morning. And Ryan Perring, of course, good morning. Nice. Okay, we are off, so we've started. Better than twins, says Jeff. Almost as much noise, though. I've lost everybody's name. Michael Harser, good morning to you, buddy. How are you? Nice to hear from you. So, if you're just joining us, this is the Film My Run 500. It's called the Film My Run 500 because we're doing a 500 metre climb. So we're at 12% on the treadmills and we are going up 500 metres into the sky. So we're not following the incline of the course itself. Obviously, as you can see, we're currently at 0% incline on the course, but we are ignoring that and we're just up at 12% on the treadmills and climbing. We get faster and faster, so obviously we're not just going to walk the whole way. In a minute we'll start jogging. So you all know the score. Start jogging at the arch. Unlike Jeff, make sure you have 12% on your treadmill incline. If it doesn't go to 12%, go as high as you can. It's a very slow effort, so you should not get out of breath. but we want to work those calves and quadriceps. Those cows do need a good run around. Well, it is a slow learning child. It's rubbish. Honestly, if you talk normally to it, it just doesn't understand. You have to separate each word with a breath. Sebastian says, Sebastian says, the true treadmill workout was ultra hard yesterday. I don't know why, 2 to 10% incline. Oh, that one. Yes, that's ridiculous. No, you don't do that. Don't do that workout. It's impossible and badly programmed. It should never have been put on the system. Morning, Tina. Neil is not doing the session today because he's running at 1:30. What does the orange 21 under your pace mean? It means I'm at level 21. So, like many things, many computer games, this is a computer game. That didn't make any sense at all. Like many computer games, this is a computer game. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is a computer game. And so, like any computer game, you go up the levels. So, I'm currently on level 21. Now, if you're on a lower level, where you see that 21, above there is a grey bar, and that grey bar will fill up with orange. And when you get to the end, you level up. But my grey bar just stays grey all the time because I am at the top level. Hopefully, when we get some new levels, I will jump up a few levels from 21 because the points that I'm earning, the XP points that I'm earning, are being stored in the background for when new levels come out. At 5 a.m, where Monica is, and it's time to ride, she says. So, SinFury85, I hope that answered your question. Level 21 is what that 21 means. Tina is loving her new treadmill. I haven't been on ours very much. Ours does have a little bit of a noise, which is it's kind of irritating me a bit. But the news is that the more you run on it, the less that noise happens, as it's just the kind of new treadmill kind of bedding in and stretching itself out and stuff. So yeah, I'll give it a few more goes. We will try and run on it a bit more regularly. Obviously, got to do a review of it, so. Ryan says, "What about the bike you used to always use?" Yeah, that may have moved into the kitchen. Okay, Tina says hers is getting less and less noisy, so I'll try and put some miles in on it, and we'll see if we can reduce the noise. Yeah, it was a bit disconcerting the first time I turned it on. I didn't like the rumble at all, but we'll just get used to it, and hopefully it'll reduce over time. It's comfortable to run on. Neil Messenger says he's doing stage 4 group run this afternoon at 1:30, so good luck with that. Trev Wilson says, how do the incline levels correlate to percentage incline? Well, on my treadmill, they are the same. So on this treadmill that you're looking at, hang on a second. So you should be able to see here, it says 12%. That is 12% in real life as well. So it's not like a half, it's not some random number. If I was to put my my level, my phone, say on my phone, if I was to go to my gradient app and I was to put it on the treadmill, it would read 12%. So the grade is the same as outdoors. Ryan Perring has got stage 6 at 10:30 of Tour de Zwift. I'm a lucky boy because I've managed to finish Tour de Zwift. So I've done all my 8. I've got my kit look, which I am wearing on screen right now. Wow, 400 started the duathlon last night. Bring the bike back. The problem is it just won't fit in. And this treadmill is really bulky next to me. It's a big treadmill. I really like my Run because it's so compact and straightforward. It's dead simple. Like me, you know, mentally it just kind of suits my brain. I mean, that one is quite simple to use, but yeah, it's a big old beast sitting there, and it makes me wish I had a bigger shed, really. Paul Deering says it's a 35-minute bike and a 15-minute run. Meters equals points. And it's a 6-week league. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it would have been good to do, but I think I'm going to have to sacrifice the bike just to get this treadmill reviewed. Hopefully, I can get that done in the not too distant future. But I do need to put some miles in. There's no point in reviewing it if I don't put some miles in on it. Right, 100 meters to go and then we start going a bit quicker. At the arch, move to 6 kilometers per hour. Keep that treadmill at 12% incline. Stay up on those toes to work your calf muscles. You love it when I go on about being up on your toes. Right, a bit quicker. Monica Bernhofer. This treadmill that I'm running on is the MyRun treadmill. It's by a company called Techno Gym. So it's the Techno Gym MyRun. Yes, Sebastian, get yourself a MyRun. If you can afford it, get the MyRun. If the £3,000 pounds UK price tag is a bit much, then the Noble Pro is a worthy alternative in terms of getting yourself a smart treadmill for the cheapest cost. The first time I've tried it, it connected first time to Zwift and it didn't drop out at all. I did a 5k run on it the other day, no problems connecting to Zwift, no problems running on it. My only issue with it so far has been this kind of rumble noise, which I'm assured does go away over time, or does certainly reduce over time. And also you kind of get used to it as well. the more you run on it, the more it just becomes part of the natural environment as you're running. Right, well, okay, Ryan, the Bluetooth drops are not my run related. They're not to do with the my run. And I think I have them sorted. So, the latest update on the Bluetooth drops is that I went to the Intel website and I downloaded the very latest Bluetooth drivers. So you don't go to Windows and you don't wait for the Windows update. You go to the Intel website and you download their bespoke driver updater, and you tell it to search for new Intel drivers, and it should. Well, it did for my system. It found newer, more up-to-date Bluetooth drivers, which I downloaded and installed, and since then I have not had a Bluetooth dropout. Now, the dead stops, yes, they are an issue, but they're easily solved. It is just a rattly emergency stop button, and sometimes when it rattles, it momentarily loses connection. The magnet momentarily loses connection, and it will stop the treadmill. What I tend to do is I jam it in there with a piece of card or something, and that seems to stop the problem. More up-to-date versions of the MyRun have solved this issue anyway. So if you buy a brand new MyRun, there is a new emergency stop, and it's been reworked so that it doesn't disconnect quite so easily. Tina, take care. Tina is going off out with the dogs. Heart rate 134. Cadence 163. Jeff says, so what is the other treadmill that you've got? I've got the MyRun, for God's sake. I've got the Noble Pro Elite E8, what is it called, E8i? The one with the HD screen anyway. Dean Carter has gone to the dogs. So Tina is taking the dogs out, and Dean has actually gone to the dogs. Is he in the work? The thing is, I don't know if he's in the workout because I can't see any names. So I'm assuming he's in the workout and he's dying. We should all still be relatively comfortable. Your HR is above 150, bring the incline down a little. Jeff Partridge has gone for the 8 without the HD screen. Yeah, there's no difference in the treadmill. So Noble Pro offer 2 versions of the same treadmill, and the only difference between the two is one has an HD screen so you can watch on YouTube and Netflix, go on the internet, those kind of things, which is quite nice to have, but it doesn't actually change the functionality of the treadmill itself. So it's still the same motor, still the same belt, still the same deck, and still the same top speed, and still the same max incline. And the 8 So with the standard LCD screen is, I think it's just about 1,000 UK, which is the best value Noble Pro, sorry, best value smart treadmill you can get. You won't get anything cheaper, and having run on it now, I can say with confidence that it's a perfectly usable, reasonable treadmill. I've tested the speed, but I need to do some more tests, so I'm not going to say what the belt speed is like just yet. But even with that knowledge, I would say it's still worth getting. Yes, Jeff, that is true. It does seem quite a large price difference for the HD screen. You're right. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know why it's so much more expensive. But yeah, just stick an iPad on there, and you've got pretty much the same thing. And if you download the Noble Pro app as well, you've virtually got the same functionality. Right, 200 meters to go, and we'll bump it up one more time. I've got a cup of coffee going cold, but at least it's not spilling everywhere. Monica doesn't need a screen. Good for you. I haven't got a screen on my treadmill, but I do have a big TV screen in front of me. And who doesn't want that? Question mark.
Nice! Right on!
Ian Collicott, thanks for the ride on. Okay, doing well, everyone. Full stop. Time to increase the pace again. Full stop. 6.5 kph. Okay, Andrew Cutmore says, I've had no noise issues with my Noble Pro. Think it's a great treadmill for the price. That's good, Andrew. I know Andrew Usher has had some issues as well. He's got exactly the same noise as I have. Right, we're up to 6.5 kilometers per hour now. So a little bit quicker, but keeping the incline and keeping it up on the toes. So that's the work that we're doing. We're not working the heart. We're not trying to do a cardio session where we finish totally exhausted. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get an ache in the legs. If you can raise the incline more without becoming breathless, go for it. I don't want to see any heart rate over 150 and no one power walking. Sebastian says, is this a recovery session? Stick that incline up higher, Sebastian. It's a strength and endurance session. I know you are pulling my leg, Seb. Right, so those people who are new to this session, I don't think we have any newbies today. Anyone who's new would probably be starting to find this aching their calves now and their quad muscle, their quads at the front. So you've got the quads at the top, at the front. They're used for braking, going downhill, but they're also used when you're climbing as well, powering up the hill, and your calf muscles are the main engine. Or the main... They're not an engine, are they? What are they? In mechanical terms. The main hydraulic system? I don't know. Anyway, they're the main job, the main thing that is doing the work. So if you're climbing on your toes, they're what's doing the work. If you're flat on your feet, you're stretching out your hamstrings. Actuators, okay. Thanks, Jeff. So they're the main actuators in this scenario. If you go flat on your feet, you're putting a lot more strain on your hamstrings. Now, power walking does that anyway. So, you know, there are people who power walk up hills, but more often than not, they are either doing a very short climb, short, fast climb, and they may well be in a shorter race as well. But remember, what we're training for here is marathon and above distance on hilly mountain trails where you need to conserve energy. Okay, maybe some of the elite runners at the front, crazy people like Zach, what's his face? Anyway, there are some crazy people who do power walking for the entire 100 miles and go as fast as they can with their heart pumping out their chest. And that's one method, but that risks you injuring yourself and blowing up, which is what, I can't remember his surname, not Zach Bitter, Zach Miller, thank you, Jeff. Zach Miller is one of those runners. He's an elite runner, but he goes balls out from the start. And more often than not, and I think if you look at his stats, more often than not, he blows up. And it's 1 in 10, 1 in 20 times that he'll actually have a success. And the thing is, that's worth it for them. But for us, we don't want to put that strain on our bodies, and we don't want to risk that much. We don't want to risk injury. We're not going to win the race. Thank you, Jeff, for acting as my memory this morning. I always need someone to be my memory. And yeah, so, and then you've got other runners who are much more conservative, elite runners, like Kilian Jornet, like Francois Dehaene, who you will see most of the time up on their toes, running up the hills, but running slowly and conserving energy. So it might not be as quick as power walking, but it's less risky than power walking. It's quicker than normal walking. It's not as fast as running hard, but then you're not going to blow up. I don't know these people, Jeff. I'm just saying names. Ryan Perring has a query. I'm saying I need help with my memory. Ryan is questioning whether it's the whole brain that needs help. You may have a point. Yeah, I've interviewed everyone. some bloke called Jeff Partridge. As still to be collared. Oh, it doesn't say collared, that's college. Actually, I have not interviewed Killian or Francoise. I don't think Francois speaks very good English, does he? He is a French speaker, and Killian is still out of my league, I'm afraid, in terms of interviews. Well, exactly. Right, okay, next step on the ladder. We have just over a kilometre to go. So up to 7 kilometres per hour now. Yes, more pets on Friday night, please. Or cuddly toys. Right, 7 kph now. 7 kph. Keep it there, guys. Thanks, Von.
Right on.
Okay, so 3 kilometres done. 1.2 to go. We should get a good 500 metres today. No dropouts, no dead stops, no coffee spilling everywhere. No problems, he says, a bit too soon. Oh my God, Amy Green has a sloth. You guys have a sloth. No, it didn't say sloth. Amazing. I'd like to see somebody with a pangolin as well. Ryan says jinxed it. I know, I've jinxed it. I know something's going to go horribly wrong in the last kilometre here. Heart rate 148. Heart rate 148. Full stop. I need to stop talking. 150. Right, let's just have a little breather. I'm just going to stop chatting for a minute. Right, heart rate is coming down now that I've stopped talking. You shut up, Herring.
Ride on!
Chris, thank you very much for the ride on, Chris Nolan. Just got to relax. So look, I'm not an elite runner. You know I'm not an elite runner. I'm a mid-pack runner, but I do a lot of miles, and I would regard myself as relatively fit for my age. Some people complain that this workout is too slow, too easy. Well, if you do it properly, once you get to the end here, you are working. It's not a walk in the park, this training session. That's what they call me. Stephen Mid-Pack Cousins. Okay, that's 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go now. I still haven't got any names on the right-hand side. Is anyone else missing the names on the right? Yeah, no names for Clara. Yeah, same here. 400 metres to the end of this kilometre, and then we got a 200 metre sprint. Well, I tell you what. Well done, Amy. Well done. Keep it going. 2019, when I was injured, I was at the back. Well, when I was recovering from injury, I was at the back of quite a few races. Ben Nevis Ultra, TDS, North Downs Way 100, almost right at the back for those races. I just couldn't run, and it was stupid to enter them, really. But you know, when you're entered for TDS, you've got to go for it, haven't you? Right, 500 metres left of the Film My Run 500. Yes, that was. But to be honest, Ryan, if I'd been fit, I would have made it. I just wasn't fit enough to do it, and I should have known. The climb up Ben Nevis took me way longer than it should have done, just because I didn't have the cardio fitness. I didn't have the aerobic base, because I'd been out for 5 weeks. Same with TDS, I just couldn't climb the hills. I had no breath, no air in my lungs, and to be honest, no strength in my legs either. Fast as you like at the arch. And what led me to believe that there was an aid station at the top of Ben Nevis, I do not know. I suppose I was just thinking of it as like a checkpoint, like a man with a barcode scanner or something. What an idiot. Yeah, it is, Jeff. Long climbs in the Alps. I remember coming out of Bourg Saint-Maurice in France. Bourg Saint-Maurice was it France? Yeah. And it was a 14 13 or 1400 metre climb straight up to the top of a mountain. Oh God, it took me so long to do. It's about 3 hours. Okay, here we go. 200 metres at 8 kilometres per hour.
Right on.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you for your hard work, everyone. Full stop. See you all next week. Don't forget to join the video 5K on Friday evening. Oh, good job. Well, we're well over 150 beats per minute. 153. It's on a Friday, Neil, so we will have to postpone the video 5K for that. Look at all those heart rate dips. Look.
Okay, let's go.
Hang on. Look at all those dips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big dips every kilometre. How weird is that? Max heart rate got up to 155 there. Look at that in that last little section. Well done, Amy. Good job. Well done, Amy. Right, thank you very much for joining me. If you raced, it's not a race. If you ran with me, well done, Kerry. Well done, Aaron Francis, Clara Davies, Jeff Partridge, Amy Green, Sebastian Vogt, Clive Finnemore, Paul Deering. Well done, guys. Flat feels weird, yeah. Yes, just that bit of information. Paul Deering, thanks for the ride on, by the way, my friend. Of course, Neil, I hope lots of people are going to join me for the run. Yeah, just so that you know, so the video 5K that happens on a Friday, it will happen this Friday, it will happen next Friday, but I think the Friday after that, it will be cancelled. It will still be on the companion app. If you want to run it, you can, but I won't be there. We will be doing 100 miles. We'll have just started 100 miles of Watopia, episode 2. So that's happening in 2 weeks' time. Friday the 5th of March. Friday the 5th of March, we will be running 100 miles, covering every road in Watopia. So we've planned a route. It is manual turns all the way, but we've planned a route that will take us to every road. There is a bit of doubling back, but every road in Watopia, including the new cut-off roads. Unfortunately, the cut-off roads are the ones that are basically just doubling back. We just have to run down them and then back along them again. But that's just the best way we could work it. And we will be finishing, instead of this time, last time we finished at the top of the mountain, or like coming down the mountain. This time we're going to do the mountain early on, and we're going to do it at full elevation, so 8% grade I think it is. Ryan Perring will correct me, but we're going to do the mountains early. So the Epic Com, Alpe de Zwift and the Volcano, we're doing all of those in the first half, which is good. So we'll get them out of the way, and then we've got flat running for the rest of it. pretty much flat running. It's just a few alterations of incline here and there, and we will finish on the track. So hopefully it'll be if we get to the track, it will be a great finish. And it'd be fantastic to have loads of people join us on the track for like a couple of laps of the track or something at the end. That'd be brilliant. Right. 8.5. Okay, well, no, we'll just do 8.5 then. I can go to halves. So we'll do Alpe d'Huez Zwift will be 8.5%. And that will be the second climb. So we'll start on the seafront. We'll go all the way up, all the way out along to the Epic Com. We'll climb the Epic Com at full elevation, and then we'll come down, and then we'll go through the jungle and then up the Alpe d'Huez Zwift at full elevation as well. Because I didn't do full elevation last time because I did it at the end of the run and I was so tired, I couldn't manage it. And we are going to try and do it in under 24 hours this time. So that's the plan for 2 weeks' time. Yes, Sebastian, but we'll be going a lot slower. I'll be going at about 5 kilometers per hour, or even slower than that, 4 maybe. We need to average 7.2 for a 24-hour finish. That's including break stops. So we'll see how we go. Who knows what's going to happen in 100 miles? We'll just start and we'll see if we finish. And if we don't, no worries. We'll just come back and do it again another time. You can't be too precious about these things. If Zwift crashes, we have to stop, and we're not going to start again. We'll just do it again another day. Because I have to, in my brain, it has to be one full 161 kilometre run. So and I said this on the first one, we were very lucky on the first one, we didn't have a crash. I'm hoping it's the same on this one, and that we don't have any Zwift crashes. If we have a crash, we just abandon it and come back another day. Right, so that's that. I'm off. I will see you all, what day is it today? Thursday. Haven't decided yet. What should we do tonight? Shall I go out in the real world tonight and do a run outside? Or shall we do something on Zwift? Let's do something on Zwift, why not? We'll find something to do tonight. Let's have a look at the events while we're here. We may as well, while we're here, I'll waste your time. You can just stand around waiting for me to decide what run I'm going to do tonight. So, at 5 o'clock, there's Tour de Zwift, Tour de Zwift, Tour de Zwift. Gosh, everything's Tour de Zwift. Lonely Goats at 6. Zwift long distance runners at 6:30. The true treadmill workout, we're not doing that. Oh, pack social step. Oh, now I could do. Yeah, it is a bit wet out there. Stay inside, says Jeff. I could do the pack social at 1:45, and I could do another 5k on top of that, couldn't I? If I do 10k tonight. So we do start with. I could do 5k on the new treadmill, couldn't I? Whilst not, I won't stream it. I'll do 5k on the new treadmill, and then we'll jump over and do 5k with the pack social. That's what we'll do, probably. Okay, pack social tonight, 7:45 UK time for the beginners step-by-step pack. It's not the pack social, pack step-by-step group. So, right, enough chat, enough of me waffling on. I'll see you tonight.